Paige. I wanted to make you this little video, and something is in my eye. I'm not crying yet. Ugh. Okay, so I might have to do this with one eye closed. There. Okay, so you're not feeling well, and I know this, and despite my wishes for you to feel better, I thought I would do this for you because this is what I do when I'm really having an awful day, is I put on this cow hat. And I've done this for a number of years. I don't know why my eyes look so weird, like white here. That's either my camera or I'm turning into a mutant. Anyway, yeah, so this is my cow hat, and I do this when my life is just getting sucky because, well, there are many ways you could look at it. One, at least I'm not a cow, because cows, they have it pretty rough. And two, sometimes I just think it's funny when I'm feeling really terrible and I look in the mirror and I have a cow hat on. And I think, it's important to be silly when you feel like dying. There's my lesson. Oh my god, my eye is just gonna pop out of my head. Okay, so there's one other thing I wanted to share with you, and it's this, about anxiety. Because I'm not over this part of having POTS yet. It is very scary to never know when you're gonna get really, really sick. And so I also have a lot of fear about that surrounding going out, and I really am gonna do this with an eye closed. It's really stinging. I also have a lot of fear surrounding going out, and I don't know if I'm gonna be okay. And like the subway freaks me out because I think like, man, if I have a really bad episode or I black out and I'm on the subway, then there's a whole hullabaloo there. And there are a lot of things surrounding living with POTS that do cause a lot of anxiety. So I think there's a fine balance between forgiving yourself, being gentle with yourself, and saying, okay, it's all right that I'm freaking out because I do have a legitimate condition, but also making sure that you allow yourself to live. And I haven't figured this out entirely, but I at least know. Please forgive me. I really should do this again, but I couldn't be bothered. Please know that that is normal, I think. Oh, man. Okay. So now that I look like a complete crackhead with a white raccoon mask around my eyes, there's something else I wanted to share with you. It's a quote, and this really helps me when I'm anxietyful. I can't remember where I heard it from, so I'm going to look it up really quickly. But I love this quote. I'm only looking it up to figure out who said it, just so you know. Michael de Montaigne. Okay, I don't know who he is, but I love this quote. And it's, he who fears he will suffer, suffers already from his fear. And I tell that to myself pretty much every day, probably multiple times. It really helps me through. So I hope that you can find something in that as well. What else? I too have been doing really crappy over the past week. I had a great week like 2 weeks ago, where I was out and I walked around the city for like half an hour and I really was doing really well. And this week, so I think I'm finally gonna bite the bullet and start this new heart medication tomorrow. So, yeah. What else did I want to? I think there was one other thing. Oh yeah, your 5 positive things. I think that's really cool because I have a really hard time accepting compliments or saying nice things about myself, but I am learning. So here I go. 1, I will do anything to make somebody laugh, and usually that gets me into more trouble than it does any good. 2, I may not be able to do a lot of the things that I want to do or that other people can do my age, but I really try to make up for that by loving really well, and that's something that's becoming more and more important to me as I have gone on this little journey. Loving well means a lot to me, and I try really hard to do that, to love people to the best of my ability. So, 2. 3. This is hard. Something else good about myself. I'm easily amused. I can just sit outside and do nothing, listen to the birds for hours. In fact, that's really becoming special to me and important to me. And I planted some beans a few weeks ago and they finally started to sprout. So this is so silly. My neighbors have been coming up to me on the driveway and being like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "What are you doing just sitting on your driveway?" And I just go, "I'm sitting with my beans." So that's what I do. I just sit with my beans and listen to the birds, and it's really rewarding. And I think that's a good thing that I don't need like money, and well, I do need money, but the things that really matter to me are very small and very simple, like sitting with my beans. Two more. Okay. Um, you might just have to be happy with three. Three it is. Three for you. Um, I hope that you enjoyed this 6 minutes of wasting your time. But I really do hope that you feel better soon, and I am with you. I really am. I know what you're going through, and it's tough, but just remember, as strong as you are and as inspirational as you are to everybody, including me, you have to let yourself be weak, and it's okay for you to be stressed and anxious. Just have that time, and then just don't think about it anymore and try and get back up. So, yep, that's all I got to say to you, and I really hope that you feel better soon. And that's all I got. So, for me, my Potts cow and my screwed up eyes. Moo. I hope you feel better.